Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Lamiaa Shaheen and I'm working as assistant professor at Oman College of Management and Technology, Interior Design Department. And I would like to thank Patricia and the Aviumi Academy for this kind invitation for such outstanding event. Actually, it's not the first time to participate with Patricia and Aviumi Academy. It's my third time actually, and I have enjoyed all of my events and webinars with them. My presentation today is about redesigning building for sustainability. How can I redesign existing building to be aligned with sustainable features and sustainability, which is very important nowadays? Sustainability in history, natural resources have been used in building since early times, long before electricity to meet demand like lighting, ventilation, and thermal comfort. And the architecture of earlier times needs sunlight in the cold months and shading in summertime, like shown in figure number 1. How to increase thermal efficiency? We can increase thermal efficiency by making use of regional natural assets and the advantage of regional climate. Ecological architecture refers to the idea of construction or remodeling structure with the country climate. All of this must be in focus with Sustainable Development Goals (SDG), which we'll explain later in next slides. Principle of sustainable building. The 169 targets in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals (SDG), which all 191 UN member states have agreed to attempt to accomplish by the year 2030. Here is the 9 main SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals. The following 9 goals are included in the list for achieving sustainable construction objectives: good health and well-being, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life on hand, partnership for goals, and last one, sustainable cities and communities. Here is table shows each objective and how it will affect design and redesign for sustainable. First one is good health and well-being. The health and well-being of people could be improved through sustainable buildings. Second one is affordable and clean energy. The sustainable building might make use of renewable energy sources to reduce operating costs. And the other one, decent work and economic growth. The environmentally friendly building might boost economic growth while providing opportunities. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Sustainable construction could encourage creativity and assist climate infrastructure. And sustainable cities and communities. The foundation of sustainable cities is sustainable architecture, reasonable consumption and production. Resources are conserved by using recycling system in sustainable buildings. Climate action, reduced emissions from sustainable buildings aid in reducing climate change. Life on hand, a sustainable structure could conserve water and safeguard the environment. Partnership for goals, sustainable construction foster worldwide power connections. And here are their numbers in sustainable design development. Here's the main aspects to redesigning building for sustainability. First one, data collection or data gathering for this building, which I want to redesign it to be sustainable building. Building designs that are sustainable can make use of a variety of methods and strategy. And using the passive design approach, thermal comfort is maintained by using natural energy flows. And it depends on the use of suitable building materials, landscape, and building orientation. The other one, form and orientation of this building. The initial decisions made throughout the design phase are the building form and its direction and the north arrow in this site. And due to their effects on thermal, visual, and energy consumption, they are the most important changes. The other one, shading reduces building heat. The shading types is greatly influenced by orientation. Seasonal sun screening is a feature of enduring construction components like cantilevers. The sun shines at low heights on the east and west facades. Hence, adjustable vertical louvers are preferred. Natural ventilation for building heat emission. The most popular method of heat rejection is ventilation, which lower inside temperatures by using outside air as a heat sink. The direction and dispersion of the airstream can be changed by the horizontal arrangement of gap and internal barriers. Openings should ideally be positioned on opposite walls, diagonally rather than straight across from one another. Vegetations. The unique management of sun and wind penetration in buildings is provided by vegetations. And it has an importance on how much heat is transferred from the outside to the building exterior and interior. And it can also be used as a component of internal shading. Using evaporative cooling to reduce building heat. People have accepted the concept of using water source like a pond, lake, or fountain to cool the area around it over time. And making design decisions to reduce heat intake and increase heat loss is known as a passive cooling. Fenestration protects building from heat. And when necessary, fenestrations including skylights, windows, and any other openings in a structure allow light and the prevailing wind to enter the structure. Some techniques are used to minimize heat gain through windows. Orientation and size, glazing, internal shading devices like curtains, blinds, and external shading devices are some examples of these techniques. Thermal comfort. Thermal comfort is defined as an assessment of the thermal condition of the surrounding area. And it's a state of mind that expresses satisfaction with the thermal environment. Using passive heating to gather heat from a building. And this technique of using specific building system to help regulate internal temperature by employing the sun's energy. Passive heating is a process of retaining heat in materials that can store it as the sun shines through south-facing windows. Heat protection using insulated construction materials. An insulting materials is a substance having a high thermal resistance that prevents heat from transferring across regions with different temperature. Examples of redesigning methods to make a sustainable building. First one, using a triple glazed window having low E coating. Like shown in figure number 3, they are using a window, and this window contains a triple glazed window having low E coating, which is keep winter heat inside and keep summer heat outside. Second one, using green roofs. A green roof protects against rainwater runoff, filters the heat, and lowers the outside temperature, and controls the temperature inside, uses less energy, and promotes biodiversity as shown in figure number 4. And this figure number 4 is for the rooftop for University of Melbourne. And last one, using solar panels on the roofs. Solar panels make use of PV cells. The PV cells on a solar panel capture the energy from the sun's rays as it shines on the panel. And in reaction to an internal electric field within the cell, this energy generates electrical charges that move, which results in the flow of electricity. To improve ventilation and use less heating, ventilation and air conditions, HVAC system, and power. And the majority of green architecture techniques and sustainable solutions used for redesign, as shown in figure number 5, using solar panels on the roof. Conclusion: sustainable structure can reduce their negative environmental effects by consuming less water, energy, or natural resources. But they can also have an environmental benefit by reducing their own energy and exporting it. Additionally, we should incorporate sustainability into the design and taking the environment into account throughout the project. And we must be aligned with UN Sustainable Development Goal SDGs in order to reduce or even eliminate the carbon emissions that result from heating and cooling buildings and using a variety of appliances and tools. And here is my references. And thank you so much for listening.